Hey y'all, I am back testing the Evermore Bowl again from 1617. So I do currently have a video on my channel where I am testing this with CDN Wicks, and I did feel as if the flames were a little too large for that particular combination of candle wax and jar. So I'm testing the Evermore Bowl is what they refer to it as, with 3 CDN for Wicks, satin soy wax from Woodwick Candle Company, and this is a special blend of fragrance oils that I made myself because I wanted to get an authentic Palo Santo scent. All right, y'all, it has been an hour, so as you can see, we don't have a complete full melt pool just yet as far as it being all the way to the edges. However, I am liking the way that this is melting so far. It does not look like it's going to start tunneling. It looks like it's pretty even across the top as far as the depth of the melt pool. So I will come back after about another hour to let y'all see what the progress is. But I do have, sorry, I'm not holding the camera straight. I do have hope that this is going to work out just fine as far as with this jar and the type of wick and the type of wax and the type of fragrance that I used. Um, and also the flame isn't wild and crazy with the CD10s. It was a little bit wilder than I wanted it to be. I want people to be able to walk away from their candles without having to worry about whether the flame is going to get out of control, because that can be a safety issue. So I feel better using CDN versus CD Wicks. However, if you are going to use CDN Wicks, because they do tend to curl a little bit more, they can lean, they can start to lean more than what you would want it to if you don't make sure that when you are pouring the wax in, that the wicks are pulled pretty tight, pretty straight up. And also sometimes when you pour in the wax, it will cause the wick to start bending a little bit, even if you have it in a wick holder. So you just want to make sure that the wick is very, very taut, tight, and straight up before the candle solidifies, so that you don't have to deal with it leaning forward too much when it's lit. So I actually had to change the type of wick holders that I was using because it wasn't really making sure that the wicks were being, tightly standing up straight. After I changed the type of wick holders I was using, I noticed I didn't really have the issues with the CDN wicks leaning as much. Because I was about ready to just stop using them, to be honest. But then I figured that out. So just wanted to throw that in there. They curl more than the CD wicks, so make sure, it's even more important to make sure that they're straight. All right, see y'all in the next hour. Bye. It has been 2 hours since the last clip. I had to take a nap. I took today off of work and I was tired, so I wasn't able to come back in 1 hour. But this is 2 hours since the last clip, and we still don't have a complete melt pool yet, but we are almost there. It's doing pretty good. This is a larger diameter. It is a bowl, and it's not like the diameter of this jar is what people typically are using. This is actually a bowl, so it is going to take longer than it would take for a regular size jar for the wax to melt all the way to the edges. So it's doing pretty good for the time frame that it has been lit, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of mushrooming. The flame isn't getting out of control, so I like how this is going so far. This is actually in my dining room, and I can smell this all the way in my room when I was taking a nap. So it went through the living room, through the foyer, through the hallway, and all the way to my bedroom. So I am pleased with the scent throw. I would definitely expect for a strong scent throw using this size of jar as far as the diameter, it being a bowl. So I'm glad to say that the scent throw is very strong. So I will come back. I'm gonna have to blow this out because I have to go get my son from school. But I will come back whenever I decide to relight it and continue to show y'all the progress. So it's probably gonna take a while for me to get this candle all the way down to the bottom. So that is why I chose a scent that I like. I love the scent of Palo Santo before it's lit. So before you actually light a stick of Palo Santo, depending on your nose, because people smell things differently. I get like a woodsy, citrus, like orange, licorice type scent, like all mixed together in one. That's the way Palo Santo sticks smell to me before they're lit, and that is the way the essential oil smells. So this candle smells like the essential oils or how the sticks smell before you light them. So it's just missing the smoky element, which is fine with me. I don't even like the way Palo Santo smells when it is lit. However, when it comes to cedar, I bought some cedar sticks and I really love the way that smells when it's lit. It retains the sweet, woodsy smell, and it's not overpowered by the smoke. So I do have a cedar wood candle, a Virginia cedar wood candle. Maybe I will test that in different jars as well. I have smudge kits, so those kits come with like mini candles of, you know, Palo Santo, frankincense, sweetgrass, myrrh, cedarwood, the different types of plants and herbs and woods and resins that people like to smudge with. So that is why I am testing these types of scents right now. So I was making those and I had a lot of wax left over when I was making Palo Santo. It's a little harder for me to scale that one since it is to scale it properly without going over the amount that I need, because it is a scent that I had to mix myself. So I had a lot left over and I decided to put it in this jar. And it's going to be a great one for people to use when they are meditating, when they're at their altar, when they have a ceremony or something like that going on. So I'm glad that I ended up having so much left over, because I would have never thought to put it in this jar. I just felt like, are people going to want like a giant Palo Santo candle? I'm not sure. So anyways, enough of my rambling. I will come back after I relight this candle, as I'm about to blow it out, and I will let y'all know what the progress is. Bye. I'm back. It's been about 4 or 5 hours since I got back from getting my son from school and relighting the candle. So as you can see, we are pretty much almost to a full melt pool. So I think in total, I may have had this candle lit for about 7 to 8 hours throughout the day, but again, I had to blow it out after about 3 hours or so to go get my son from school. So after about 8 hours, you pretty much will have almost a full melt pool. Well, at least I did, using the combination of tools that I used, the combination of ingredients that I used. You might get something different if you use different wax or whatever. So I'm about to go ahead and blow this out right now, because I don't want to go to bed and forget that I have it lit. As you can see, there is some mushrooming, but again, this has been lit for about 4 or 5 hours, so that's fine with me. More so what I'm looking at, again, I've said this throughout the video, but I'll say it again. What I'm looking for is a controlled flame, a flame that's not going to be out of control. So I will take the mushrooming over having an uncontrolled flame. Whenever I use I forgot what those wicks are called, but they are the ones that have like a wire in the middle, or like lead in the middle. I forgot what they're called, but whenever there is a mushroom on those, the flame is like more out of control. So I can deal with this. Again, I've spoken with some of my loyal customers and they don't really think twice about mushrooming. They said they just before they light their candle again, they just, you know, twist it off. They don't even cut it off, they just twist it off. So I think as candle makers, we are more concerned about that than the consumers, based on what I'm hearing. So I'm just gonna go for a candle that is safe, that burns well, that doesn't leave a whole bunch on the edges, and of course that has a good scent throw. So I don't know how many hours you get out of this size. I usually don't even bother with trying to figure that out because I'm always blowing my candle out because I have places to go and things to do. So I don't have the candles just lit all day every day. I think this is the longest I've had a candle lit besides the 7-day prayer candles, the ones that you can leave lit until they basically go out. So anyway, y'all know that I always ramble on these little clips when I'm just supposed to be giving you a quick update, but then I start remembering certain things. So I will see y'all in the next clip. I probably won't take any more clips until we get to the halfway mark. And then after we get to the halfway mark, once we get to maybe like 1/4 or something like that, I'll take another clip. So thanks for watching to this point because the video's not over, and see y'all in the next clip. All right, y'all, so we have reached the end of the testing for the Evermore Bowl. I have done a video on this before, but I decided to do another one, and I believe these are 3 CDN 4s or 3 CDN 3s. I think they're 3 CDN 4s though. I can't remember. I started testing this one so long ago. So again, I'll look at the beginning of the video to see which wicks I used and I'll put it on the screen. But they worked very well. It burned beautifully. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out to 1617 because what I've noticed is you can pretty much use their recommendations. They'll recommend what wick sizes to use. And their recommendations have worked pretty well. You know, I read all the time on other candle suppliers' websites where they will recommend a certain type of wick and people are just saying it just did not work for them. So their recommendations have been working regardless of what type of wax I'm using. So it works for paraffin, it works for soy, and it works for coconut wax. So shout out to them. They're on to something with the CDN Wicks. So as you can see, we're pretty much to the end of this candle, so I'm going to go ahead and blow it out now. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.